Hey YouTube, Skipper T here. Got another Schrade knife that we'll do a review on. This is the SCHF9. It is a monster of a knife. This thing is huge, and overall I think this weighs a pound, maybe 1.1 ounces, something like that. You can read about that on the websites for them. Again, it's got a 6.5 inch blade on it here, 16.5 centimeters. The handle on this one is 5.8 inches, which comes out to be about 14.7 centimeters. The overall length on this one is 12.3 inches, so it's 31.2 centimeters long, and it's listed as weighing a pound. And I gotta tell you what, this dude's heavy. You'll notice running down the spine of this knife, if I'm hoping you guys can see that. This is a 1/4 inch all the way out to the very end where they finally taper this thing in. It's got a bit of a roach belly on it, back up to the top. Again, it's got a nice chortle for your fingers so that you can get in close for some of the finer tasks that we do in camping. It's got a micarta, or not a micarta, but more of a rubberized handle on it. Which I think would be good in a lot of different areas. Again, it's a full tang, 1/4 inch thick steel bladed knife. Again, this one it's got that chromium moly high carbon stainless steel blade on it, and it's got the stippling up here for your finger. Again, I mentioned that it's got a chortle in here so that you can get your finger and get up close for some of the finer carving tasks on it. Again, it's got a little bit of a rounded edge on the spine here. I would take and grind this off until I got another good sharp edge here, at least part of the way, so that I could use my ferrocerium rod with that and be able to strike a fire with it that way. This one's got good finger. It's not quite like my other SCHF3. But it still has the molding out part for your fingers here. I find that to be very comfortable. Again though, with a Schrade knife, the width of the handle always seems to be an issue with these. I mean, they're made for giants, okay? Again, I've got a medium-sized hand. I find that handle is just a little bit too wide for me to have a very comfortable and secure grip. But like on the other Schrade models, the handles are put together with some torque screws, it appears. So, I should be able to take those apart, probably grind down the flat side of this on the belt sander again, make it a little bit narrower, make it a little more comfortable for my hand. Again, this is a monster knife. These things are huge. But, again, they're going to do things for you that are just absolutely fabulous. This one does come with a very nice sheath on it. This has moly on it here. You can take this particular piece, undo it, you can run it through, you can carry it in a scout carry on your side horizontally. You could attach it to your backpack with it. It's got a nice long lanyard where you can wrap around your thigh if you're going to do the belt carry on it. It's nice in the fact that it has the Velcro tab here so that you can just put it right over top of something. It's also got that Velcro tab here, so technically you wouldn't even have to take your belt off. You could just slide this up through your belt, flip it over the top, and you are good to go, okay? It's got the plastic insert sheath on here. The SCHF3 does have a removable screw down here so that you could rotate this plastic insert and make it left or right-handed. This has a simple rivet in it. You cannot do that, well, to start with. Could you drill the rivet out and put a screw in there? Absolutely, not a big deal. So, but again, this one's going to come out with that one side already set up like that. This does have a removable pouch on it. It's got a small buckle on the front. It velcros and buckles in there, and again, it's got a nice big pouch on it right here. So again, you can put your ferrocerium rod in here. You can carry a small sharpening stone. And the nice thing about this one is that that's detachable, so if you didn't want to have it on there at all, you could certainly do that and utilize that on some other portion of your pack. So, how did it come out of the box sharpening wise? Again, my cheater piece of paper here. That came out pretty darn sharp. Okay. So I would have no issue just taking that out into the woods straight out of the box. Okay? Again, it's got some serious heft to it. So, you know, is this thing going to be a chopper? Well, let's get out our chopping stick and find out. Yep, don't see an issue with that. Again, using, you know, and then we're going into a double knot scenario. So that makes that really hard. You know, if you came down on the other side, yeah. Is that a chopper? Hell yes, that's a chopper. You could make stakes and sticks for hunting and spears all day long with this thing. Would not be an issue with it in the least. I think that's just kind of going to go without saying there. Let's see what happens. We'll pull up tight. We'll get into the chortle. Can we make a feather stick out of fat wood? Oh yes. Once you get the angle of that blade in the right spot and start peeling away on that, rotating your stick, you can make them super thin, super fine. You can make them a little thicker if you want to. Again, all of that's just predicated upon how you want to do that. I don't call that a bad feather stick at all. I kind of like the curved portion right here for making that feather stick. Seems to be a good place to just get in there and get a nice little thing going. Again, that's going to be, you know, it's going to be up to you and how you utilize that. But I don't see that as being an issue at all. In fact, I kind of like that. That works out pretty slick. So you get some nice little fine fibers out of it. Will she baton? Well, it's a 1/4 inch thick and it's heavier than all get out. So I'm going to assume the answer to that question is yes. But I can spell assume with the best of them, so let's just give her a go. Certainly doesn't seem to be an issue with just a 1.5-inch round piece of steak, or stick rather. I feel a little bit better batoning on the end of this blade because it's a little bit wider all the way out to the end. Okay. The other one I had that issue with it, but again, it didn't seem to affect it or hurt it in any way, shape, or form. So let's just see. Yep. Not an issue there at all. Can we do some finer carving tasks with it? Yes, we can. Boy, I gotta tell you what, you gotta be careful with this dude though. She'll just flat monster off some chunks of wood in there. Now you probably can't see that very well, but you know, this thing will hog off some wood. There's no doubt about that. Let's see if we can do a little bit finer carving with it here. Oh yeah. Yeah, if you hit it down in that roach belly, she'll certainly do a nice job. It'll flat turn up some wood now. Again, I don't see an issue with that at all. That appears to do pretty darn good. Let's split some more wood with it. Here's a piece, I don't know, 1.5, 2 inches in diameter. A little rotten on the end there, a little pithy. But boy, let's just make short work out of that. We'll angle the blade in and see what that does. Yeah, guys, I don't think we're going to have an issue with that. Looks like we might have some termites in here. That might be why that piece of wood fell out of the tree. But again, get up tight. Do a little chortle work on here. I wanted to do some nice wide flat pieces. You can see those are thin and curled up tight right there. Super fine. Yep. I think she's a keeper. She work as a chopper. Appears to. Now that piece of wood was a little bit wet. This one's a little drier. But again, I'm not seeing an issue with that in the least. I'm not even really swinging that hard. I'm just kind of letting the blade do the work. Alright guys. Well, I gotta tell you, I think that's another successful product from Schrade. I need to put a lanyard on it. I need to narrow the handles down a little bit, but again, there's another monster knife, heavy, that if you were out there and you were in a survival situation, I think that would do you nicely. Again, what's the best knife to have in, what's the best survival knife out there? Well, it's obviously whichever one you've got with you. This one and the other Schrade that I've done the review on would do, I think, very nicely. They appear to be heavy enough to do any kind of work that you'd need to get done, and yet agile enough for the finer carving tasks. Anyway guys, this is Skipper T. Appreciate your watching the videos. Like them, subscribe to the channel, and remember, keep your eyes open, keep your heads up, and we'll see you outside.